Hey, what's up, everybody? Marcos Villegas for Fight Up TV, powered by Stagefront VIP. Being joined with John Ryder, who's facing Canelo coming up this weekend here in Guadalajara. A day before you weigh in, man. This is rare for having a fighter do interviews and media a day before their weigh-in. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so surprised now. So we had our press conference yesterday, which is normally rare for us back home. We normally have it on the Thursday. So, yeah, I mean, today's a pretty free day. It's nice to sit out here on the rooftop and catch some rays, get that vitamin D in and talk to some people.
Yeah, so I would imagine the weight cut is simple. You're on point, you're good, you don't look sucked in, drawn in.
Well, it's never simple. It's never nice losing those last few pounds, but I feel good. I woke up in a good place, and I'm just looking forward now to getting a little jog on later, get those pounds off, and get weighed in tomorrow.
I don't know if anybody's told you, but I've seen fan comments say that you and Canelo look alike. Have you gotten that? Like, you guys are like twins from like different countries.
You know what? When all the brothers was called on stage yesterday, I did briefly think about going to get on the end just for a joke. I should have just. Eddie said to me after, "Why don't you join in?" I could have been Juan Alvarez.
Yeah, man. When you guys face off and you do pictures, especially when Canelo grows his beard, you guys do look similar.
Yeah, I felt a lot of people said that I look like the Mexican version of Canelo, and he looks like the Irish version of me. So, yeah, there's been a few comparisons.
You know, looking at this fight, man, Eddie made a comment to me that he sees you very calm, the most confident you ever been. You know, where's that coming from on your end?
I just don't believe in wasting energy. I've done everything I've needed to do in camp. I've done the hard yards, I've run the miles, I've sparred the rounds, and I've done these camps many times before. Regardless of if it's Canelo or Karen Smith or Bridget Saunders, I give every fighter the maximum respect. So it's no different. I know what the task is in front of me, but I train hard regardless, whether it's a 6-rounder against a journeyman as such. That's when I'm probably at my most fearful, because you know that the pressure's really on. Where I'm here, I feel relaxed. It's Canelo's first time back home in 12 years, and I feel that the pressure's on him. So for me, I've just got to embrace this, enjoy every moment, live in the moment, and don't let this pass me up and look back in years to come and think, what did I do that fight week? And everything's clear now, everything's in my mind. Day by day, training was hard, but I had a lot of enjoyment.
So no pressure whatsoever, but do you feel nerves, anxiousness at all?
Little nerves, yeah. I mean, it's obviously when you come face to face with him yesterday, it's that you know that it's getting near, it's nearly game time. But yeah, no, I've done this time and time before, and I feel like I'm just excited to get in there now and get the fight started.
You know, watching you face off with Canelo yesterday, I know you can never really decipher like a lot of things from the weigh-in, but I think one thing that did stick out to me was like, you stood your ground, but I felt like you let it know, like, yo, dude, I'm not going to back down from you. Like, you stood there, and I felt that from observing. I don't know if that was your intention or not, though.
No, I mean, I just like to give a worthwhile stare down. Do you know what I mean? But it's one of those things. We've all both done it time and time again, and it's just a formality now. I don't really read too much into it, but it's crazy just to think you're watching this man from way back when, having his stares off with the Mayweathers, the Cottos, and he's the man that beat your favourite fighter as such. So it's great to be in there with him, but I'm not coming just to collect a check and have a holiday. I'm coming here to do a job, and listen, that saying, make your idols your rivals. No, true. Obviously, the Danny Jacobs fight was similar, and this is no different. I've been a fan long before, but now it's a rival, and I'm there to do a job. Who's
your favorite fighter that he beat?
I did love Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto's got a special place in my heart.
Did you? So I know Team Cotto thought that fight was very, very close, and I remember talking to Freddie and some of the team after, and them saying like, "No, we won that fight," and I'm like, it was close, bro, you know. But I'm just curious, did you think Miguel won that fight?
No, I didn't think Miguel won that fight. I think it showed how fresh Canelo still was, and how many miles Miguel had on the clock, I think. And let's take nothing away from Miguel. He's had a great career, many hard fights and many hard battles, but still a great fighter.
Yeah, I love Cotto. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch too, especially early Cotto before the Margarito fight. I know you had your camp in Los Angeles. Talk to me about training out there in LA. How was that experience and the type of work that you put in over there?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. The Churchill Boxing Club was a great facility. Very, very, very warm and welcome to us. Got some good rounds of sparring in the gym, and I just didn't really settle there though. If strange, I see it as more of a stopover to get to here. So when I was in LA, we were staying in Culver City and doing a few runs around there, a few sprint sessions and to and from the gym. But once I arrived in Guadalajara, I felt more at home. I felt relaxed. The air quality felt a lot better, and the temperature was a lot nicer because LA was pretty chilly at the time. But yeah, I'm oddly enough, I'm here and I feel at home.
Oh, that's weird. Because you're in a completely different country, yeah.
It's strange, and I mean the UK is definitely not this hot, and but no, I come here and I feel more relaxed. My family's in Cancun. My partner will come over fight day, so I'm excited. They're nearby, and the team's here, the family's here, so that's good.
You know, two similarities between here and LA, or two things that always stick out about LA is one, the traffic, obviously. The traffic's bad here too, but the Mexican food is great over there in LA, so I would imagine maybe you might have got a chance to go ahead and enjoy that. And the sparring. The sparring you get in LA in Southern California is second to none.
Yeah, I mean, I sparred, I can't remember his surname, Raul. I think he's 13-0 as a pro. He's been sparring like Benavides, so very, very good, tough operator. But yeah, it was a great sparring and just good for what I needed for the last week of camp, just to push me on and get that last bit out of me. I didn't really get to try any Mexican food out in LA, and Mexican food is one of my favourites. So once the fight's done, I'm sure I'll indulge a bit and get some proper authentic Mexican food down me.
Yeah, hit up Canelo after for some tacos. I'm sure they'll go ahead and treat you for that. When you prepare for Canelo and spar for Canelo and go into this fight, you know, a lot of people have said that he's begun the descent in his career, given how he's looked in his past performances. You know, what sticks out to you the most there that to you as a fighter indicates that?
To be fair, I was pretty surprised when he was making the move back up to 175 for the Bivol fight. I remember when he fought Kovalev and beat Kovalev that he said, I think he pretty much vacated the title straight away. He said it was just a step up too far and that they was too big. So I was initially surprised when he said he was going back to 175 to fight Bivol. So the defeat to me was not a massive surprise. It stated before that it was too big a gap, and I think it showed Bivol was exceptional that night. And I think the good thing to come from that fight was that fights can be judged fairly. I think for a long time people felt that you couldn't go to Vegas and get a decision. Against Canelo, and I think that the good thing for boxing especially was that the right man won that night. The right man got the decision. Then going into the Golovkin fight, it was, I wouldn't say it was a vintage Canelo performance, but he won the fight convincingly. Maybe Golovkin was past his best, who knows, but I think people was expecting more from it, was expecting Canelo to go in there and blast Golovkin out of there, but Golovkin's a tough man. You're not going to go in there and just hit him on the chin and he's gonna roll over, is he? He's a real warrior, and he'll stay there till the end. But then going to the injury, I think he had surgery on his wrist, so it really is all there to be seen what he's got left now. 2022 was a bad year for him in terms of results and whatnot, but 2022 was a great year for me. But it's all now 2023. Whose year is it?
You look at the fights that Canelo's lost, Floyd and Bivol, and Floyd just outclassed him, outboxed him, moved. Bivol, a lot of factors there, but I think one of them was he was able to take Canelo's punch, but he put together combinations to keep kind of Canelo back off of him. Looking at the Bivol fight, like, was there anything that you saw there that you want to incorporate into this fight coming up this Saturday?
It's hard because I'm not a fighter of Bivol's stature. I've not got the in and out footwork he's got, or the long arms. So I'd love to take that as a blueprint and go for it and implement that. But that's not my fighting style. As much as I wish it was, I wish I was 6'2" with long arms and long legs and in and out style. But I'm not. I'm 5'10" on a good day with short, stocky build, similar to Canelo. So I think that the mid to close range stuff will be good.
It's gonna be a bloody fight. You expecting that?
Yeah, I'm expecting a brutal fight. I'm expecting to go to depths I've never gone to before. But you need to do this to achieve your dreams and to beat the man.
Yeah, how is that, like, preparing for that, like, mentally, knowing, like, hey, I'm going to come out bloodied, bruised, maybe something cracked? Yeah. Like, how is that, like, just being okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's embracing the madness. It's a fight at the end of the day. There's been fights when you think you're not going to get a mark on you and you end up with 5 or 6 stitches in your eye. So, I mean, and people have done cut eyes with less than boxing. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of those things. But I'm prepared to go to the well and just really put it all on the line.
You know, there's been a lot of talk about Bivol. Canelo's been very vocal. He wants that rematch. I don't think he's looking past you because he's a professional. He's been doing this for a long time, but it is on his mind a lot. Do you feel disrespected at all that the name Bivol comes up so much in this fight promotion and the weeks before?
No, I mean, because we know what it's like now. Canelo fights on May 5th and then the early September date. So we know he's got his 2 dates per year. For me, I need to change that narrative and make it the Canelo Ryder 2 for September. But listen, I know what the boxing public are like. They know that they're Canelo's weekend, so they're obviously wanting to talk it up.
You know, and finally, I'm just curious because it's your weight class as well. Benavides against Caleb Plant. Now, what did you think of that performance that Benavides had against Caleb Plant?
Yeah, good performance. I just really don't know how Benavides continues to make 168. He is huge. And listen, I know there's always going to be comparisons of Benavides outboxed him better, but Canelo stopped him. So it's a hard one. As a fight fan, yeah, I want to see that fight, but I'm in the mix now. I need to. If I go and beat Canelo Saturday night, that fight that's long away for both of them.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of alluding to. You know, that Plant's a potential opponent for you. Benavides is a potential opponent for you. Those guys. Obviously, if you win, I would imagine you'd get a rematch. But you know, there's been a lot of talk about Benavides and Canelo. You just said I want those fights, and he hasn't been as vocal as wanting a fight with Benavides. Have you gotten that sense as well from him?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is with. Is it two Mexicans facing off? Is it a good thing or is it not? Is it bad for the Mexican community? Does it divide opinions? Listen, to win the titles and go back home and defend against a fellow Brit would be good. But no, I mean, I'm happy with whoever. I just need to win Saturday and scupper everyone's plans and make my own plans.
That is kind of a weird. Now that you put it that way, it is kind of like a weird thing. Because like the way you said, like, yeah, I would love to go and fight like a fellow Brit like back home. That'd be a big event. It's kind of like, yeah, it's not like that big of a deal. I
mean, like for me to come to Mexico and defeat a champion and then go back home to have a homecoming against a Brit would be a dream. But for me to come to Mexico, beat Canelo and take him back to the UK for the rematch would be an even bigger dream.
Yeah, that'd be nuts.
That'd be cool at the Emirates or Wembley Stadium. That'd be pretty epic. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I know you've come a long way, man. You've really put in the work, and I respect people that just grind and work and stuff like that. So all the success to you, and you know, I really respect the work that you've put in. I respect people like you that graft and really, you know, take the long, hard way up. So blessings to you, my friend.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. John Ryder right here, taking on Canelo Alvarez this Saturday coming up in Guadalajara, Mexico.